Hi everyone, and happy return. This tutorial on the React useEffect hook is ideal for beginners in development. useEffect is a strong feature that helps us control side effects in our components, such as refreshing the user interface or retrieving data, so that our apps operate consistently. Step 1. Setting up our component. Let's set up our React component step by step. First, we'll import useState and useEffect from React. Then, using useState, we'll create toState variables first count and second count to manage local state updates. Next, we'll define a useEffect function to handle side effects without dependencies, ensuring actions execute on every render. To display the current values of first count and second count, we'll add p tags in the UI. Finally, we'll integrate two buttons using setFirstCount and setSecondCount to increment each count when clicked. Step 2. Understanding useEffect without dependencies. When we interact with the increment first count or increment second count buttons, our component re-renders. This causes useEffect to run again, logging component rendered to the console each time. Let me demonstrate this in action. Watch the console log as I click the buttons. Notice how it updates with each render. This illustrates that useEffect consistently runs on every render because we haven't specified any dependencies to control its execution. Step 3. Understanding useEffect with dependencies. Now, let's add first count as a dependency in the array. This means the function inside useEffect will only execute when first count changes. Additionally, useEffect always executes on the first render, even if first count hasn't changed yet. When we click the increment first count button, first count updates, triggering a re-render of our component. This causes useEffect to execute, logging component rendered to the console. Let's see this in action. Watch the console log as I click the increment first count button. Notice how it updates with each click, showing the current value of first count. Also, observe that clicking the increment second count button doesn't affect the console log because second count isn't included in the dependency array. Step 4. Understanding useEffect with an empty dependency array. In this example, we're using useEffect on an empty dependency array. This indicates that the effect is only applied once when the component is mounted and will not be repeated during subsequent updates. After the initial render, use the increment first count and increment second count buttons to change their states. Despite these changes, the useEffect will not run again, and no further logs will appear in the console. Let's observe this in action. Upon loading the component, notice the initial execution of useEffect. As I continue clicking the buttons, observe how the console log remains static, indicating that the effect doesn't re-execute despite state changes. This demonstrates the behavior of useEffect with an empty dependency array, emphasizing its one-time execution upon component mount. That's it. Mastering useEffect is crucial for beginners in React, empowering you to manage tasks efficiently and build confidence in creating responsive, well-structured applications. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tutorials.